There are actors who were once Hollywood icons, holding the keys to fame and power, but now sit behind prison walls. What caused them to fall from the peak of their careers to the depths of crime? The stories behind the 17 actors currently serving prison sentences are not just shocking cases, but also painful confessions about the dark side of fame. Leave a comment with the number 1 and get ready to face the harsh truth about murder, abuse, fraud, and many other crimes that have cost them everything, including their freedom. Shannon Richardson, a name familiar to audiences for her supporting roles in popular TV shows like The Walking Dead and The Vampire Diaries, was once a rising star among Hollywood's supporting cast. However, few could have imagined that behind the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry, Richardson would become the central figure in a shocking case involving politics and deadly toxins. In 2013, Richardson made headlines when she was arrested for sending letters containing the deadly toxin ricin to President Barack Obama and several other prominent figures, including New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. The case was uncovered when the poisoned letters were discovered, prompting an immediate investigation by authorities. The threat to life not only caused public alarm, but also raised the question, who would be daring and dangerous enough to carry out such an act? When arrested, Richardson tried to blame her husband in an attempt to avoid responsibility. However, undeniable evidence, including fingerprints and data from her personal computer, confirmed that she was the sole person responsible for this cruel act. In July 2014, Shannon Richardson was sentenced to 18 years in prison, and her case became one of the most shocking stories of corruption in Hollywood. Richardson's story is not only a reminder of the dark side of fame, but also a testament to the fall from the heights of hope to the depths of crime and the serious consequences of such a downfall. Ryan Grantham, a young star who rose to prominence with roles in Riverdale and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, once had a promising career. However, his name is now remembered in horror and shock after committing an unthinkable act, killing his mother in March 2020. Grantham, then 21, shot and killed his mother, Barbara Waite, in their home in British Columbia, Canada. His actions were premeditated, and he later recorded a video confessing to the crime without a trace of remorse. The story became even more chilling when it was revealed that after killing his mother, Grantham had planned to continue his violent actions by assassinating Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He had prepared weapons, ammunition, and a map with directions to the Prime Minister's home, but eventually changed his mind and turned himself in to the police. During the trial, the prosecution argued that Grantham acted out of a mental crisis and a lingering sense of helplessness. However, his actions were still considered unforgivable. As a result, he was sentenced to life in prison in 2022, with no possibility of parole for the first 14 years. A promising talent now stands as a painful testament to the devastation that violence and an uncontrolled mind can cause. Zachary Horwitz, known for small roles and a promising career as a film producer, became the center of one of the biggest scams in the entertainment industry. Using the name Zach, he created a perfect facade, a promising actor and a savvy entrepreneur running the company 1NMM Capital, with promises of huge profits from film licensing deals. However, behind the grand contracts and deals was a $650 million Ponzi scheme. From 2014 to 2019, Horwitz convinced dozens of investors that he had distribution deals with major players like HBO and Netflix. In reality, it was all a scam. Horwitz used money from new investors to pay interest to old ones, creating the illusion of a successful business. Horwitz's lavish lifestyle with luxury mansions, expensive cars, and a life of privilege only served to reinforce the trust of his victims. Everything came crashing down when there was no longer enough money to sustain the Ponzi scheme, and investors began to grow suspicious. In 2021, Horwitz was arrested, and the case was exposed, revealing the full details of this massive fraud. During the trial, he was convicted of securities fraud and sentenced to 20 years in prison in 2022. Horwitz's downfall not only caused investors to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, but also exposed the dark side of ambition and deception in the entertainment industry. His story serves as a valuable reminder that not everything that glitters is gold. Michael Jace, the actor who made a lasting impression with his role as police officer Julian Lowe in the hit series The Shield, shocked Hollywood when his name was linked to a brutal murder. On May 19, 2014, a call to the police at Jace's Los Angeles home opened the shocking case. At the scene, his wife, April Jace, a devoted mother and talented athlete, was lying in a pool of blood after being shot to death by her husband. What shocked the public even more was the presence of their two young children in the house, witnessing the horrific scene as their father shot and killed their mother. When the case went to trial, prosecutors argued that Jace acted in a fit of uncontrollable rage, stemming from financial disputes and marital tension. One chilling detail was Jace's words before opening fire: "If you want to run, run to heaven." These words, echoing like a death knell, became an unforgettable part of the case. Jace was sentenced to 40 years in prison in 2016, and from a beloved actor on television, he became a convicted criminal condemned by society. Michael Jace's case is a stark reminder that fame and outward appearances cannot conceal the darkness within, and serves as a warning about the consequences of losing control. Will Hayden, star of Sons of Guns and a respected firearms expert, was once a symbol of passion and knowledge about guns. However, behind the spotlight of reality TV was a dark curtain when in 2014, Hayden was accused of sexually abusing a young girl. This was not just the beginning, but the beginning of a series of crimes that spanned years. The investigation revealed that Hayden had abused not only one girl, but many other women, including his own daughters when they were young. The victims' testimonies painted a haunting picture of a man once respected by the public, but who was actually a sexual predator. The shock was even greater when evidence, including interviews and medical reports, confirmed the veracity of the allegations. In 2017, Hayden was sentenced to life in prison for rape and sexual abuse. His career has collapsed not only because of public outrage, but also because of the immediate cancellation of Sons of Guns. The image of a powerful arms tycoon is now a ghost of a hated figure, highlighting the dangers of abusing power. Allison Mack, beloved by audiences for her role as Chloe Sullivan in the TV series Smallville, was once a model of intelligence and loyalty on screen. However, behind her smile and fame was a dark secret no one could have predicted. In 2018, Mack became the center of one of the largest human trafficking cases in the U.S. when she was arrested for her key role in the NXIVM organization, which claimed to be a personal development course but was actually a sexual cult. Mack exploited her power and fame to lure young women into NXIVM, promising self-improvement lessons and opportunities for advancement. Instead, they were turned into sex slaves for Keith Raniere, the ringleader of the organization. The victims were forced to perform painful rituals, including having their skin branded with Raniere and Mack's symbols. During the trial, prosecutors presented evidence of emails and text messages that showed Mack not only participated in, but played a key role in recruiting and controlling the victims. In 2021, Allison Mack was sentenced to 3 years in prison for human trafficking and conspiracy to commit forced labor. Mack's story exposed a deeply dark side of the entertainment industry, where fame and power can be used to manipulate and destroy lives. Her case not only shocked Hollywood, but also served as a chilling reminder of the truth behind famous faces. Drexel sentenced, a prominent sports personality, has been investigated and charged with sexually abusing a minor and producing illegal material. According to the FBI investigation report, Drexel maintained an inappropriate relationship with a girl he met at a sporting event. The relationship lasted for several years, and Drexel allegedly used his position to manipulate the victim. Evidence from text messages, photographs, and electronic documents linked him to the abuse. The charges also show that Drexel not only committed the abuse, but also participated in the production and storage of the illegal material, making the case even more serious. The sports industry and fans were shocked when the case was made public. The image of a man once admired for his perseverance and personal drive has now become a symbol of corruption, greed, and abuse of power. Drexel's case stirred public debate and raised questions about control and safety in reality TV shows. In the end, Drexel faced a heavy sentence, marking the end of a career that many had once thought would last for years. Kaalan Walker, an actor and rapper who appeared in major projects like Straight Outta Compton, was once seen as an emerging star with immense potential in the entertainment industry. However, that fame quickly faded when Walker was arrested in 2018 on multiple sexual assault charges. According to prosecutors, Walker used his celebrity status to approach and deceive young women, promising to help them build careers in the entertainment industry, only to sexually assault them. Walker's trial in 2022 revealed horrific details about his crimes. Victims testified, describing how Walker used manipulation and threats to carry out his offenses. The charges included using his power to manipulate and intimidate the victims into silence. Walker was convicted of multiple counts of sexual assault and rape, and was sentenced to several years in prison. The case not only shocked the entertainment community, but also served as a grim reminder of the dark side of the industry, where power can be ruthlessly abused. The public reaction was intense, with widespread outrage and criticism directed at Walker and the organizations that had once supported him. The image of a promising talent has now been replaced by the shadow of crime and the long-overlooked cries for help from his victims. Joe Exotic, whose real name is Joseph Maldonado Passage, is one of the most controversial figures ever to appear on screen, thanks to the documentary series Tiger King. As the owner of a private zoo and a flamboyant reality TV star, Joe attracted attention not only for his eccentric personality, but also for his shocking actions. However, his life is not just an entertainment spectacle, but also a story of hatred that led to criminal acts. In 2019, Joe Exotic was arrested and charged with hiring someone to assassinate Carole Baskin, a famous animal rights activist and his arch-nemesis. Carole had publicly criticized Joe for animal abuse at his zoo, which escalated the conflict between the two. Joe paid $3,000 to have Baskin killed, but the plot was uncovered and Joe was arrested. Additionally, he was charged with violating animal protection laws, including killing 5 tigers and engaging in illegal wildlife trafficking. In 2020, Joe Exotic was sentenced to 22 years in prison, and since then, he has become a symbol of delusion and the consequences of unchecked hatred. His story serves as a reminder that fame and power can drive people to actions that go beyond legal boundaries, leading to the loss of both freedom and dignity. Skylar Deleon, who once appeared on the TV show The Wonder Years, had a bright future in the entertainment industry. However, his life took an unexpected turn when he was convicted in a major corruption case in 2004. Deleon and his accomplices conspired to steal the yacht of Thomas and Jackie Hawks. According to testimony in court, Deleon convinced the couple to make a deal on the yacht, then bound them and forced them to sign over ownership documents while they were unconscious. Evidence from the investigation, including fingerprints and witness testimonies, confirmed Deleon's central role in the crime. Thomas and Jackie Hawks, after being forced to sign the documents, were pushed into the sea, unable to escape. This case shocked the public, especially with testimony from accomplices revealing that Deleon had planned and carried out the crime with the intent to steal the couple's assets. Ultimately, in 2009, Skylar Deleon was sentenced to death, and his story became a cautionary tale about how wrong decisions can lead to irreversible consequences. Zara Phythian, known for her role in the Doctor Strange movies and her impressive martial arts career, was once admired for her talent and strength. However, in 2022, her life took a different turn when she was convicted of indecent exposure to a minor. According to the victim's testimony at trial, Phythian and her husband, Victor Mark, had developed a trusting relationship with the victim since she was 13 years old. The victim said in her testimony that the couple had manipulated her into inappropriate behavior over a long period of time. Evidence from the investigation, including text messages and victim testimony, painted a picture of an abuse of power and trust. The story shocked the public, especially given Phythian's reputation and strong image. She was sentenced to a lengthy prison sentence, marking the end of a promising career. The case not only damaged her reputation, but also raised questions about child protection and the moral responsibilities of influential people. Amy Locane, known for her role in Melrose Place, shocked the world when she was involved in a serious car accident in 2010. Locane was driving under the influence of alcohol and caused a collision in New Jersey, resulting in the death of Helen Seaman and the severe injury of her husband, Fred Seaman. The investigation revealed that Locane's blood alcohol level was above the legal limit for driving. Witnesses at the scene described Locane's car speeding and losing control before the crash occurred. In court, Amy Locane expressed deep remorse and admitted her actions, but the prosecutor argued that her irresponsibility led to irreversible consequences. Locane was initially sentenced to 3 years in prison, but after several trials and appeals, her sentence was adjusted to reflect the severity of the case. Amy Locane's story serves as a cautionary tale about responsibility and the consequences of poor decisions, especially when driving under the influence of alcohol. Jared Fogle, once a symbol of positive change and an inspiration to millions through his remarkable weight loss journey, became the center of a scandal that shocked the world. Formerly the face of Subway, Fogle built an image as a man who overcame all challenges to achieve success and health. However, in 2015, that perfect facade came crashing down when he was arrested on charges of engaging in inappropriate conduct with a minor and possessing illegal material. The investigation began when a colleague reported Fogle's behavior and provided crucial information to the FBI. Evidence collected from electronic communications and personal devices revealed that Fogle not only possessed inappropriate materials, but also participated in inappropriate activities. During the trial, multiple witnesses and investigative documents clarified his criminal actions. Although Fogle expressed regret and admitted his wrongdoing, the final sentence was 15 years in prison, bringing an end to the career of a man once admired by millions. This case serves as a stark reminder of the difference between public image and the reality behind it. Harvey Weinstein, once a symbol of power and success in Hollywood, is now remembered as a central figure in the #Me Too movement. As the founder of Miramax and the driving force behind a string of Oscar-winning films, Weinstein built his empire through absolute power and immense influence. However, in 2017, a wave of accusations from actresses and former employees exposed a dark side behind his glamorous facade. In court hearings, many witnesses recounted their traumatic experiences of how Weinstein exploited his power to commit inappropriate acts. Investigative documents and emails from the victims revealed how he used his position to coerce and create an atmosphere of fear. In 2020, after a series of public trials, Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison for rape and sexual assault. Harvey Weinstein's downfall not only shocked the film industry, but also fueled the #Me Too movement, where voices that had been silenced for years were finally heard. Todd and Julie Chrisley, the famous couple from the reality show Chrisley Knows Best, always captivated audiences with their image of a wealthy, extravagant, and humorous family. However, behind the smiles on screen lies an unexpected story of financial fraud and tax evasion that shook the public. In 2022, after a lengthy investigation, the couple was convicted of falsifying financial documents to borrow millions of dollars from banks in order to sustain their lavish and upscale lifestyle. The evidence presented in court, including detailed financial documents and testimony from bank employees, showed that the couple had orchestrated a complex fraud system to conceal their actual financial situation. Throughout the trial, Todd Chrisley repeatedly claimed his innocence and insisted that he had been wrongly convicted. However, the testimonies from witnesses and electronic evidence exposed the truth. Todd was sentenced to 12 years in prison, while Julie was sentenced to 7 years. The case completely changed the public image of the couple, transforming them from beloved reality TV stars into symbols of financial fraud and the inevitable consequences of breaking the law. Joe Sun, an actor known for his humorous supporting role in Austin Powers, international man of mystery, shocked the public when his name was linked to a serious crime, not on screen but in real life. Sun, once a promising actor and MMA fighter, saw his career and life spiral downwards as his criminal past was exposed. In 2008, Joseph Sun was arrested for a crime that took place in 1990 when he was involved in a violent sexual assault of a woman. The victim, in a painful testimony, described being attacked and threatened throughout the incident. The case had not been resolved at the time due to a lack of clear evidence. However, many years later, when Sun's DNA was collected in connection with another case, test results linked him to the crime. This fortuitous coincidence brought justice to the victim after nearly 2 decades of waiting. The trial was filled with evidence and testimonies that outraged the public. The prosecutor detailed how the crime unfolded and the severity of the offense. Irrefutable documents and DNA evidence shed light on the truth, and Joseph Sun was sentenced to life imprisonment in 2011. The victim of the case said, "I have lived with this pain for so many years, and now I can begin to heal." Joseph Sun's fall from a beloved comedic actor to a convicted criminal is a clear reminder that crimes cannot remain hidden forever, and justice will eventually prevail for those who have suffered. Shah, a star of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, was known for her lavish lifestyle and strong personality on screen, but in 2021, she found herself embroiled in a shocking legal scandal. Shah was arrested and charged with wire fraud and money laundering in a case involving thousands of victims across the United States. The case not only rocked the reality television show, but also raised questions about the ethical responsibility and behavior of famous stars. The investigation revealed that Shah and her accomplices were involved in a complex scam, deceiving victims, particularly vulnerable elderly individuals, into investing in non-existent services. According to prosecutors, Shah used her fame and influence to gain trust and manipulate the victims. At the trial, details from the investigation, including electronic messages and witness testimonies, painted a clear picture of her key role in the scheme. One of the victims said, "I trusted them and lost everything I had." Initially, Jen Shah pleaded not guilty, but later changed her plea and admitted her role in the scam. In 2022, she was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, marking the end of her luxurious lifestyle and reality TV fame. Jen Shah's story serves as a clear warning about the price of unchecked ambition and the manipulation of power. Those who once admired her for her strength and glamorous lifestyle now see a lesson in the inevitable consequences of crossing legal and ethical boundaries. The story of the 17 actors currently serving prison sentences is a stark reminder that fame and admiration cannot conceal wrongful behavior. They once stood at the pinnacle of public admiration, but their poor decisions led them to an inescapable dead end, with the price they paid being their freedom. Is fame and power truly a double-edged sword in the lives of these stars? These are questions we must all reflect on. What are your thoughts on the stories of these actors? Let us know in the comments below. All information in this video has been gathered from credible sources and is for reference only. Don't forget to like, share this video with friends, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next interesting videos.